joining us. For those of you on the live stream, we apologize for the later service. Just circumstances arose that made our normal 11 a.m. time sort of untenable. But we thank God for who He is and for what He has done. Thank you all. For those of you who know that my mom passed back on the 27th of March, and we had the funeral April 13th. That's why we did not have service last Sunday, because we were coming back for the funeral, coming back that Sunday from the funeral. But I thank you for all the thoughts, well wishes, and prayers, and just continue to keep the family in your prayers. We're going to go right into our text. We're looking at the book of Deuteronomy chapter 16. Not doing the whole chapter this week. I know for quite a bit of stretch now we have been looking at chapters in their entirety, but we're going to be looking at Deuteronomy 16 verses 1 through 17. Deuteronomy 16 verses 1 through 17. The next part of that, beginning with verse 18, really fits better with chapter 17, which to a large extent, not exclusively, but to a large extent, deals with the issue of justice, biblical justice. But Deuteronomy chapter 16, verses 1 through 17, reading in your hearing from the New American Standard Bible, the 2020 update for this week. It says, observe the month of Abib and celebrate the Passover to the Lord your God. For in the month of Abib, the Lord your God brought you out of Egypt by night. You shall sacrifice the Passover to the Lord your God from the flock and the herd in the place where the Lord chooses to establish his name. You shall not eat leavened bread with it. For 7 days you shall eat unleavened bread with it, the bread of affliction. For you came out of the land of Egypt in a hurry, so that you will remember the day when you came out of the land of Egypt, all the days of your life. For 7 days no leaven shall be seen with you in your entire territory, and none of the meat which you sacrifice on the evening of the first day shall be left overnight until the morning. You are not allowed to sacrifice the Passover in any of your towns which the Lord your God has given you, but only at the place where the Lord your God chooses to establish his name. You shall sacrifice the Passover in the evening at sunset, at the time that you came out of Egypt. You shall cook and eat it in the place which the Lord your God chooses. In the morning you are to return to your tents. For 6 days you shall eat unleavened bread, and on the seventh day there shall be a festive assembly to the Lord your God. You shall do no work on it. You shall count 7 weeks for yourself. You shall begin to count 7 weeks from the time you begin to put the sickle to the standing grain. Then you shall celebrate the feast of weeks to the Lord your God with a voluntary offering in your hand and a proportional amount, which you shall give just as the Lord your God blesses you. And you shall rejoice before the Lord your God, you, your son and your daughter, and your male and female slaves, and the Levite who is in your town, and the stranger, the orphan, and the widow who are in your midst, at the place where the Lord your God chooses to establish his name. You shall also remember that you were a slave in Egypt, and you shall be careful to comply with these statutes. So give me 1 minute.